I am often asked, how do you do that kind of loose illustration kind of style? Well, I thought I would do this drawing of the Eiffel Tower in a very loose kind of style. And that wants to come down to about there. If we think of that as being about halfway, then we're going to want another one about there, and then that would be about the ground. This comes down, this sort of joined in the middle, wants to come down there, getting wider and wider, and then we're going to need a sort of a curve there and a thing happening there like that, so it's going to be something like that. If we draw a little bit of perspective like this, so we've got these sort of hedges coming down into the whole thing. So I think whatever, you've got to do a bit of planning with some pencil, but as you can see, it's pretty scrappy. I think the more precise you are, the more precise the whole thing is going to be. So I haven't actually got a picture of the Eiffel Tower in front of me, so I'm sort of making it up really. So it's sort of like, so it's like an illustration really. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little platform there, and I'm going to put a little platform about there. The things that are nearest to us, in fact, are these trees. So what I'm going to do is, and they've all been sort of pleached and had interesting things done to them. So I'm going to sort of draw these little sort of boxes, and they will get, as you go further away, then these sort of lines get closer and closer like that, because it's perspective. So we'll do something similar here, and this is, as I say, it's the hedge. And well, no, it's not. It's a sort of a pleached aerial hedge, very French, and something kind of like that. And then we're going to want to have the stalks, trunks, going like that. Then we can draw in the curves, and it's pretty, I think the thing is, it's a sort of confidence without preciousness. I think we need to do something like that. And then these are going to be getting wider as well. So like I say, this is mostly from memory. Well, it's entirely from memory because I haven't got it in front of me at the moment. So I'm just going to put these little patterns, which help to give you an idea of what's going on. Now I'm going to sort of double this up like that. And as you can see, I'm not being terribly accurate because that's how you sort of get that loose style. And I think if you start doing this kind of thing, you think, oh, this is terrible. I think it's terrible. But the secret is just to keep going. And it sort of all comes together at the end. That's my theory anyway. So I'm going to do these X's on the way up like that. And I think if you're kind of urban sketching, you're out there, you don't want to be there all day. So I think we have those coming down in that middle section, but not lower. So I think we've got something else going on there. So I'll put an X in there, a couple of X's. So these are you can maybe even see little people waving out here. And I don't know what happens here. So I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to put X's in. It doesn't really matter because nobody's really going to go and check. And as long as it sort of looks like the Eiffel Tower, no one actually really cares. And they go, oh, that's a really kind of loose sketch. You're not saying this is a photograph. So people aren't going to be wanting a photograph if they see this. They're not going to be comparing this against a photograph. Now, I know there's some kind of buildings there and something like that. Now I can erase those pencil lines. You see, that's the other half of the secret. I was in a library this week showing kids and parents how to draw stuff, and one of the parents went, oh, so you're allowed to do pencil underneath, are you? I said, oh yeah. And and then you sort of just erase it away and no one will know it was ever there. And this is very, very simple, kind of leafy texture to turn these sort of lollipops or popsicles, whatever you want to call them, into some kind of tree. And then the quickest way to paint something like this is with a water brush. I'll just clean this up. If you've not used a water brush before, then the water is in the handle. It's great for sketching outside, so you don't have to keep sort of dib-dabbing and sort of tipping cans of water all over the place. And I'm just going to come in here and get some blue like that. And I'll just quickly sort of do a bit of splash, a bit of sky in there. And do you need to do anything more than that? I don't know. Maybe you feel you do. And let's get some sickly green in here. That's horrid, isn't it? That's really horrible. Oh, that's even worse. But let's do that anyway. So that's going to be the grass, and maybe a bit more yellow. And then these can be the trees coming down there. I'm just going to add in a little bit of burnt sienna or something like that, just sort of down there in between. Maybe something there as well. And then let's do, I think these are actually meant to be pale, these trunks, like that. And then we're going to want to do the actual Eiffel Tower. I think one thing we can do straight away is a little bit of blue in there. And a little bit of red in there, and then the whole thing is this kind of weird golden brown kind of colour. So I'm just going to sort of colour that in basically, and I'm just going to paint the whole thing that colour. Like that. And then I'll maybe make that a bit darker up there, and a bit of sort of shadow in some places like that. And then some shadow in underneath the trees, on the trunks, just to give a little bit of sort of three-dimensional depth. And then maybe we could have something like that. Some shadow there. It's very cheap paper, is starting to bobble up. And then we can have some shadow over there. And basically that is your kind of quick sketch that you could do. And if you're on holiday in front of the Eiffel Tower, then you've got it there to draw. But, you know, find interesting lines like this, and these kind of hide whatever's going on down on the ground. You can always sort of have a few people, which are just sort of scribbles like that. And that's how you do the Eiffel Tower really, really loose. Let me know what you'd like me to draw loosely next time. And make sure you're subscribed to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.